been much too long, my fellow gladiators, spectators, and warriors, for an episode of Awakening and Resurrecting Hercules. At the moment, we are weighing in at, looks like 207 pounds minus 5 pounds for the camera. Just about the same weight as before I left for the trip, so that is perfect. Welcome to another episode of Resurrecting Hercules.
Hello my friends and family. I am back from the van tour road trip. I'm super excited to get back to training consistently. I was really only able to do about 400 push-ups in total. We got 2 workouts in, but it was a 14-day span. So really it was just a good time to get a rest weekend. Coming back from the van tour, not being able to lift a lot, this is what my physique is looking like at the current time. I also am recovering from a sickness. You can hear it in my voice. You ready? You can hear I have a lot of wheeze in my throat and in my chest, so I'm trying to get that gone by taking as many water and vitamins and all sorts of, any sort of context that would help me get rid of my sickness. But yes, I wanted to record this video segment of the Hercules episode today, the day I got back to training after the van tour, and then you guys will see what I look like at the end of this episode after maybe a week or 2 weeks of training. All right, let's talk progression, right? Because that's what this whole series is about, is seeing where I can take my body, where I can go with this bulk. And one of the ways that we can actually track my progression is by choosing exercises that we want to see the improvements on week by week, or at least episode by episode. Up to this point, I haven't been able to do much for showing you guys exact progression other than my size and my weight and things like that. Now I'm starting to branch out into different exercises. So one of the exercises that I really want to concentrate on showing you guys the progression from is overhead dumbbell tricep extensions. Now I'd probably say about 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 6 times this exercise actually hurts my impingement. So on those days I just stop and I don't do any more. But on days that I'm feeling good, I continue to try to press harder and harder and harder, because that's how you get bigger. At the current moment, I am able to do 75 pounds, which was the newest progression for, I believe it was 8 reps before I started deteriorating in form. I'm being very specific not to have an ego about this and push past the point where my form deteriorates, because I do not want to have another injury. But for now, we've worked up through 40s, up to 50s, through the 60s, and now we're on 75. I wish I would have tracked all the other stuff before this, but we've slowly gotten there since the last episode. Back to the gym, and one of my favorite exercises, especially one to track with, is the seated cable row, because this one does not generally impinge my shoulder very much, so I'm able to continuously try and improve on the weight here. Now before we left, I think we were doing 280 pounds for some smaller amount of reps, like 4 to 5 or something like this. And then this is a bit lower, and that's expected because we're coming back from the van tour. So I think this is 245 pounds for, I believe, 8, if I counted it correctly, and maybe 7 reps. And it felt pretty damn good. I was connecting really well. Now this is just yesterday, so this is about a week after, 2 back workouts after, using the same weight, and I feel like there's a lot more control. It feels a lot easier. You can see that I'm concentrating on the movements and trying to fine-tune the way that I'm pulling my elbows and sticking my chest up as I'm pulling the weight towards me. I'm going to keep attacking the same weight until I can master the form for at least 12 reps and then move it up. So right now I'm about to have a Chipotle burrito. Actually, I haven't had one this large. Look at this thing. Look at that. Damn, that's girthy birth right there. I haven't had one this big in a really long time. They've been hooking it up because I've been coming in so often. I've been going probably, I'd say, about 4 times out of every 7 days, which is kind of a lot. So right now I'm sitting outside of the gym. I'm sitting on a little bucket that holds the door open, but the office that they let me use is right there. It's kind of dark right now, but yeah, so I'm just eating out here because it's got a cool view and stuff. But basically with my food this week, what I'm trying to do is get back on track now that we're done with the van tour. So I'm just trying to get back to eating whole foods again. You know, the first weekend we had a little blowout and we had a bunch of buffalo wings and a bunch of ranch and a bunch of weird stuff, like a bunch of burgers and all this processed stuff. And that stuff's good and I think it has a place, but I feel like I look my best and I perform my best at the gym when I'm eating more whole foods. Now granted, Chipotle is not entirely whole foods. It's the better end of the fast food that you can get. But what I try to do is make sure that every meal that I have, other than Chipotle, if I do get Chipotle on a certain day, is a whole food source. So what I've been trying to do is up the amount of rice, the amount of big baked potatoes, because that used to be a big part of my diet, and beans, lentils, potatoes, and just in general try to get more food in my body, because I think that right now I've kind of hit a status quo. I've gained as much as I'm going to gain with this amount of calories. I think I need to step it up a notch. So I think this week I'm going to be aiming for something around 3,500 to 3,800 calories. Again though, just trying to make sure that they come from good sources. So I've still been rehabbing my shoulder, and one of the things that I'm doing to rehab my shoulder is this pressing movement right now. I've been using actually 20-pound weights, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like. As I'm going up, I'm trying to let my shoulder blade come out. Basically, I'm trying to feel this lat meat right here versus not letting it come out, maybe like this. And as I'm doing that, I'm retraining my shoulder blade to move properly as I do overhead movements. In addition to this, I've been doing tons of stretching, trying to untighten my chest up a little bit. As I've improved on this one, it's allowed me to do some other exercises, and I've done stretches and whatnot. So one of the exercises that I'm really stoked that I've been able to implement again, get back into my routine, is an incline isolateral bench. Basically just a bench that I'm loading plates onto that I'm pressing upwards. And you would think doing it upwards would actually hurt, but I think the reason that it's helping and I'm not feeling an impingement is because it's helping keep my shoulder blades in place by pressing the weight downwards, rather than doing a decline where it's pressing my shoulder up each time and causing it to impinge. So basically what I've been trying to do is hit all my rehab exercises, do all my stretches, and hit some exercises that kind of take a one step further down the boundary of being able to do presses and things like that again. And we're getting a little bit of some chest gains back. Being that this video is a video about progression of bodies and trying to get my physique larger and all that kind of stuff, I want to kind of make a quick point for those of you who are watching me for motivation or just as kind of like a benchmark of where you want to be or an ideal goal type of thing. I want you to not ever get down on yourself, because I have to do this all the time. People are always judging my physique. Oh man, you're bigger. Oh man, you're smaller. Oh man, you're on steroids. Oh man, you used to have bigger shoulders. All this different kind of stuff. And I want you guys to know how important angles are and how important lighting and settings and context is, because every YouTuber, every Instagrammer tries to give themselves the best situation to make themselves look the best. And the reason why is because they're trying to give you the illusion that every single time you see the picture, it's their biggest form, it's their best look. And I just wanted to show you these two photos right now to show you the difference, literally with no time in between. I took this photo about 15 minutes after my workout, after washing my face and all that kind of stuff, and this is a good setting. I'm right under top lighting. I have my arm towards the lens. I have the camera shooting upwards. These are all tricks of the trade to make yourself look bigger. And then literally I moved 5 feet to the right 1 minute after that. No difference. You can see that I'm not lying to you, because the tan line, that trademark tan line, is still there. I look way smaller. I look many a years before my progress in the first photo, and that is the same physique and the same location, just in a slightly different spot. It's same day, same workout, everything. So I just want you guys to understand and not completely value yourself on your still photos or whatever you're posting, or even based off of what other people are looking like, because you never know what they really look like. They're just posting that for Instagram, for YouTube, and that's important to remember. So that, my friends, brings us to the end of this Hercules episode. As far as how I'm feeling with my physique coming back from this 14-day van tour, I feel like it's doing pretty good. I feel like I lost a bit of fat, mostly lost a lot of water because of the way we were eating on the road trip. But coming back and hitting workouts and stuff, I feel so much better. I don't know, I feel like those 2 weeks were really needed in terms of resting, as well as allowing my injuries to kind of heal up and stuff. So I've been able to hit weights really heavy and hard. I've been getting that kind of like that real strong strength feeling when I'm grabbing heavy weights, where I just feel like I can move things around. Like when I'm shrugging, I remember a few days ago when we were shrugging at the gym, I felt like I was freaking destroying. Like I had 3 plates on there and I was just moving it around like nothing for like sets of 20. So it feels really, really good to get back into the feeling of bulking, because I feel like it's been a really long time since I've gotten into a heavy bulk, and I kind of forgot what it felt like, to be honest, and it's pretty awesome to have it back. So based off of how my body is reacting, how I'm feeling during my workouts and whatnot, 3,700 calories is doing really well. So next week I'm probably gonna be aiming for 3,700 to 4,000 calories, just to up it a little bit and see how that reacts. And a small disclaimer, please don't take these small victories as I'm just gonna start benching and shoulder pressing and all this stuff. I'm gonna look crazy again and stuff. I am still being very careful, and there are still times during these workouts that I've shown you already that my shoulders are tight and I'll just stop doing whatever the movement is. I still am dealing with this impingement in my shoulder, but I am making the small strides forward, and I'm really pumped about what's gonna happen when I'm able to do more and more and more and more. more. Last thing I want to say, thank you guys so much for supporting me with these series and these types of videos. There's been a lot of comments lately where people are saying, oh man, your content has changed so much, or whatever it is. And you guys got to remember that my channel has been around for 7 years now. So a lot of people have joined in different phases of my life, and they expect to see that video over and over and over, the same one that they subscribed to originally. And my content is always changing. So if you have a video that you want to see, or you have a series or type of content you want to see, all you got to do is just leave a comment and let me know. But if you don't let me know, then I don't know to hit those videos for you. But for now, my friends, we're going to keep bulking. We're going to keep hitting weights heavy as possible. And we're going to see how much progress we can make in the next episode of Resurrecting Hercules.